multiply above the avenues at night. Nobody looked up anymore. They blended with the traffic lights, a glowing screen in every hand, microphones beside the bed. Everybody volunteered, every word they ever said. And every year another wire disappears into the wall. Nothing to hide, nothing to fear. That's what they say every year. Drip, drip, drip. One more lens behind the glass, one more shadow in the mask. Nothing to hide until there's nothing left at all. Advertisements knew my name before I spoke it out loud. Every silence filled itself with synthetic comfort sounds. They sold us safety in small doses, convenience in polished white. No one saw the cage descending because the bars arrived as light. And every day another part of us becomes a fire. Nothing to hide, nothing to fear. Repeat the phrase until it sounds sincere. Drip, drip, drip. As trust, turning private thoughts to dust. Nothing to hide while they archive all of us. I kept waiting for somebody else to notice, but comfort is a powerful sedative.
Nothing to hide.
pulse reorganized, patterns feeding quiet systems, building maps behind our eyes. You lingered on a photograph, 3 seconds longer than before. Now the shadows know your habits better than you know yourself anymore. And every scream whispers softly in the dark, suggested for you a manufactured need, suggested for you the next thing to believe. Drip, drip, drip. Invisible hands shape desire while the city stays asleep. Suggested for you until your thoughts are no longer yours to keep. Carefully selected, entertainment calibrated, every fear and fascination measured, tested, replicated. They sell identity in fragments, curated and normalized till everybody speaks in rhythms designed by unseen minds. Nobody forced the door open. We carried the machine inside ourselves. The algorithm learns the contours of everything that frightens you, suggested for you until the system speaks louder than you do. Louder than you do. Everybody measures language now before the sentence leaves their mouth. Every room feels monitored, even when no cameras are around. People laugh a little softer, eyes drift toward the glowing screen. Every silence filled immediately before reflection can intervene. And no one says what they actually mean anymore. Nothing sounds suspicious anymore. Everything dangerous was normalized first. Drip, drip, drip. Every edge rounded smooth, every instinct slowly rehearsed. Nothing sounds suspicious anymore. That's how the system learned to work. For systems they will never meet, trading fragments of identity for relevance and dopamine. Every thought becomes performance, every moment partially staged. We became our own informants and called it engagement. I don't think they needed control, only participation. Sounds suspicious anymore. The language changed before we knew. Drip, drip, drip. No books burned, no sirens screaming, just slow adjustments to the truth. Nothing sounds suspicious anymore. And maybe that's the frightening part. disappears now. Every fragment stays alive. Every version of ourselves stored somewhere behind the light. Conversations fossilized, location markers stitched through time. Ghosts assembled from behavior, built from patterns left behind. And the system never sleeps, it only expands. Retention policy. Nothing fades away. Drip, drip, drip. Drip, drip, drip. Every fear, every failure, cataloged a future days. Retention policy, memory without mercy. The archive grows beneath us, quiet towers in the dark, collecting every contradiction, every weakness of the heart. Nothing left to reconcile, no forgotten nights remain, only permanent reflection, looping endlessly again. We used to outlive our mistakes. Now they outlive us. floating in the dark. Everybody reachable, nobody where they are. Conversations stretch so thin across invisible machines. Faces framed inside rectangles, filtered into something clean. And I can feel the distance growing smaller and wider at the same time. Presence indicator, tiny green artificial light. Drip, 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 drip. Proof that someone's there without proving they're alive. Drip, 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 drip. Presence indicator, connection without intimacy. Everybody documents themselves, and fragments built to disappear. Yet nothing ever really leaves, it only waits somewhere for years. Typing thoughts, then deleting them before they ever leave the screen. Learning silence through repetition until honesty feels obscene. I miss the version of the world where conversations could vanish. Signals floating through the night. Drip, 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 drip. Everybody watching everyone while staring into private light. Drip, 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 drip. Presence indicator, and nobody really leaves anymore. Smiles designed for permanence, opinions built for display. Every moment partially staged before it fades away. And somewhere underneath the performance, a quieter self disappears. Public version of yourself, floating endlessly through life. Drip, 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 drip. Curated vulnerability, packaged for the endless night. Public version of yourself, watching the real one slowly dissolve. Everybody monetizes meaning, trades confession for applause, turns identity to currency while forgetting what it was. Silence feels suspicious now, privacy almost impolite. Every thought anticipates reaction before it enters the light. I can't remember if I'm becoming invisible or finally seeing everyone clearly. reaction, buried underneath design. And then nobody remembers what silence used to sound like. Infinite scroll, no beginning, no release. Drip, 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 drip. Every second filled with noise, so no one ever thinks deeply. Drip, drip. Infinite scroll, until exhaustion feels like peace. Tragedy converted into temporary spectacle. Emotion flattened into metrics. Pain reduced to decimal. Everybody fighting loudly, no one listening anymore. Algorithms feed division because conflict boots the sky. Psychological breaking point. I can feel my attention span collapsing. I can't hear my own thoughts anymore. Infinite scroll, everything consumed too fast. Permanent distraction keeps us from confronting what's collapsing underneath. Infinite scroll, and nobody ever reaches the end. Comforts everywhere now, soft blue light against the walls. Every answer pre-assembled before the question fully forms. Guidance humming through the silence, invisible but always near. as uncertainty feels severe, and the system learned people rarely resist what calms them. Assisted living, soft hands in the dark. Drip, drip. Every fear entered instantly before it reaches the heart. Assisted living, where comfort replaces autonomy. Everybody wants direction, some reassuring voice nearby, something telling them they're safe, something filtering out the night. We surrendered piece by piece, not through force but through relief, trading silence for assistance till dependence felt like peace. And nobody noticed how difficult freedom had become. Assisted living, guided gently through the night. Drip, drip. No decisions left unanswered, no uncertainty left alive. Assisted living, nobody remembers how to be alone Maybe the frightening part was never the surveillance. Maybe it was how willingly we adjusted to being cared for. can be reconstructed, every memory exchanged. Old photographs feel artificial, conversations blow with noise. Truth dissolves beneath repetition, till certainty becomes a choice. And the screen keeps rewriting what the past was supposed to mean. Synthetic memory, ghosts rebuilt through light. Drip, drip, drip. Drip, drip, drip. Fragments stitched together softly till the false begins to feel right. Synthetic memory, and nobody remembers what was real anymore. Everybody trusts the archive, even when the archive shifts. Truth updated by revision, reality compressed to clips. Faces generated instantly, voices speaking from the dead. History rendered malleable by invisible hands instead. Existential fracture. Maybe memory was always fragile. Maybe we only notice now because the machine learned how to imitate it. Synthetic memory, everything preserved and changed. Drip, drip, drip. Drip, drip, drip. Perfect copies flood the silence till the truth becomes estranged. Synthetic memory, and nobody trusts their own reflection anymore. Repetition in the walls, every cycle feeling different, though they never leave it all. And the streams of stimulation, guided softly through the night, trading fragments of themselves away for engineered light. And the system only holds you if you mistake it for yourself. Exit condition, doorway hidden in the noise. Drip, drip, drip. Some remain inside the current, some remember they have a choice. Exit condition, awareness breaking through the loop. Most will circle endlessly inside systems built from fear, confusing comfort for existence till the signal disappears. But a few will see the pattern, and quietly we step outside, not escaping from the world, only the machinery inside. The frightening part was never being watched. It was forgetting that consciousness could exist beyond observation.